New research says the combined effect of being locked down during the pandemic and all the school closures during that time may have prematurely aged teenage brains. And so I'm really interested in this study because does it mean that they got smarter and started putting the toilet seat down or up? Or something else?
Only teenagers do that?
Well, they learn when they're that age, and then if they don't learn, then they become the adults who don't leave the toilet seat up. The study is published in the journal. It's called Biological Psychiatry, Global Open Science. Joining us now to break down the study and its findings is Dr. Ian Gotlib. He is the lead author on this paper and a psychology professor at Stanford University. Doctor, we've been talking about this study all morning long. So explain how the study began and ultimately what you discovered in the subjects.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. We had 8 or 9 years ago started a study of adolescents to understand how early adversity affects brains, perhaps differently in boys and girls, to try to understand the increase in depression in adolescent girls. And we had assessed children, teenagers every 2 years until we were shut down by the pandemic for almost a year. And then we resumed scanning and assessments, but then found that children, teenagers, adolescents after the pandemic shutdowns were different than adolescents before the pandemic.
So you're taking pictures of brains and you're able to identify, I guess, physical differences that look like an older brain?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We are able to take images of children's brains, adolescents' brains while they're awake. We can measure volume of different structures. We can apply algorithms to see the difference between the age that the brain appears and the person's chronological age.
So then, sorry, Vlad, just my follow-up question to that is, so do physical changes in the brain always correlate to changes in the way the brain is used or access to the brain? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's a great question.
Okay.
And not always. We don't know a lot about that. We do know that as the brain ages, there are specific effects that we see. Cortical thinning, the area around the outside of the brain thins as we age. We haven't known much about aging during adolescence. And I don't want to make too much of this. The areas of the brain in which we saw differences pre to post shutdowns are really areas of the brain responsible for learning and memory and emotion and judgment and decision making.
So Doctor, explain to our audience and parents who may be watching this what this on a practical level means. In other words, when we talk about a brain aging, I mean, I think we were sort of, joking lightheartedly about it earlier in the morning. We meant, in our minds, it means maturity, right? The brain is maturing, thus the human is also maturing. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean that, I guess. And I wonder, when we think about the causes, we're saying it's the pandemic, or at least this happened during the pandemic. But again, I go back to a long-running conversation that Anne-Marie and I have been having since the pandemic, which is, as journalists, we've covered parts of the world where every day is a challenge just to get by, like just to live your life, to find food and to put a roof over your head is a major, major, major challenge in countries around the world that don't enjoy the same privileges as we do. So I wonder, and of course those populations are not always studied, but I wondered if you would find similar changes in the brain for populations who are dealing with stress on a level that we can barely imagine, or if this is just unique to the pandemic. There's a lot of questions there, but you can see that we're very fascinated by this subject.
Well, there are a lot of questions, and I appreciate you raising them. I think there's no doubt that you would find similar effects in the brains of individuals you just talked about. Chronic stress, we've known that early chronic stress leads to changes in the brain. Are these changes bad? Are they good? We just know little about these kinds of changes in adolescence. I would also note in the same study, we found higher rates of depression and anxiety and sadness following the lockdown. And I think the focus more on that, because we know we can do something about that in adolescence, rather than these brain changes. We don't know if these are temporary, if this is now a new trajectory for these individuals. We're actually following them at age 20 to see if these are persistent changes that are going to have a lifelong cascade, or if it's really a response to the lockdown.
So, doctor, just to put a finer point on it, when we say the brain age, could we make the analogy, it's sometimes a cliche, that, the stress of the lockdown means that kids grew up quickly, right? You grew up quickly, and that has a physical manifestation in the brain.
But he's also saying that and correct me if I'm wrong, doctor, but you're also saying that growing up may also be resulting in higher depression rates, higher anxiety. It's not like, oh, my 16-year-old is finally folding their clothes, and I only have to tell him to do it once. This is a come up, you know what I mean? For parents, that there may be sort of a downside that you can't. I always think like sometimes you just can't accelerate. Not that you can't, but you shouldn't accelerate human development in some cases. Yeah. I don't know if you agree.
I think that caution is perfectly reasonable, and you've covered stories about the lower test scores now of kids following the pandemic shutdowns. And so we don't have test scores for these particular kids, but these areas of the brain, the hippocampus, are areas that you would expect are going to affect learning, memory, concentration. So yes, growing up, maturing, brain maturation, all a good thing, except when it happens perhaps a little too quickly.
Fascinating.
Dr. Ian Gotlib, great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.